No, I think not. Oysters have as much self-awareness as this egg roll, an elderly woman on the sofa said. I'm a strict vegetarian, but I consider anything without eyes to be a vegetable. But come on, don't you think that all living creatures have some kind of subjective experience? A young girl with an iguana on her head replied. I think you have to consider the quality of that experience. When an animal only responds by reflex, it doesn't count in my book. They do one thing when it feels comfort, and another thing when it feels discomfort. An oyster opens when it's hungry and closes when it senses a threat. It's basically an organic Boolean function. Well, how's that different from your hamsters? Don't they come when you dangle grapes and run away when you stamp your feet? The woman reached into her handbag and retrieved a single green grape and a single red one. She placed each on a corner of the coffee table, then proceeded to place a small plastic terrarium on the other end of the table. The two hamsters emerged with surprising boldness. The first made its way to the green grape, took a nibble, then turned 90 degrees to the red one, swallowing it up in one gulp, distending its little hamster cheeks in the process. The second approached the green grape, but instead of eating it, pushed the grape around with its paws. Baby, did you want a red one too? Mama's got both kinds, she cooed. A second red grape was presented, and the hamster gave it a nibble, returned to the green grape for another nibble, and ultimately opted for the green one. That's how. They have preferences. They are individuals. Did you see how Carlos played with his food? Did you see how quickly Santiago ate his all up? Why do your hamsters have Spanish names? A man with a large bushy mustache asked. At his feet was the largest rabbit I had ever seen. He was wearing a safety orange-colored vest and nervously chewed the hem of his pants. No reason. My mother, sensing a shift in the conversation, offered up the following segue. Okay. So we all agree some animals have some amount of self-awareness. But what about intelligence? The mustachioed man took this lead and ran with it. Now, what most people really mean when they say an animal is smart is that it acts like a person. Take, for example, Sergeant Fuzzy Pants here. He's real good at reading emotional cues and adapting his behavior to my moods. If I'm upset, I might appear as a greater threat, but he actually comes closer to me, as if to provide moral support. Ain't that right, little buddy? If he did that in the wild, he'd be eaten. I'd argue that this is a sign of his intelligence because he's doing something that flies in the face of his instinctive behavior. He's learned to adapt. The conversation continued from there, with various guests adding personal anecdotes and referencing things that they had seen on Animal Planet or the Discovery Channel.